us about 2 minutes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Build, Grow, Try Talk. Today's session is going to be an awesome time. Welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on today's conversation. It's going to be an interesting one. So stay tuned, stay glued, invite, share, like, invite, and like this video. Like the video. Welcome. We're just trying to wrap up, get more viewers on. It is time for Build, Grow, Talk today. And I have a special guest with me. I'll be introducing her in a minute. Hello, everyone. I am your host, Coach Lola Owokoniran. And today we are having a real simple, honest conversation about investing, focusing more on for beginners, investing for beginners. So maybe you've heard people talk about stocks, ETFs, index funds, wealth building. But instead of feeling excited, you felt confused or you just ignored, those terms. Maybe you've had the thought, yes, I want to invest, but I don't know where to begin. Or perhaps you believe you need a lot of money before you even get started. The fact is, many people want to invest, but something, somehow, keeps holding them back. Sometimes it is fear. Sometimes it is lack of knowledge, lack of information. Sometimes it is limited funds, not enough money. And sometimes it's simply not knowing the first step to take. During today's conversation, we are going to make investing easier to understand. There will be no complicated language or terminology, and definitely no pressure. No pressure from us for you to know everything. But we're simply going to share practical information that can help you take your next wise step. I'm joined by Emmanuela Quarshie, who is coming into this conversation from the perspective as a beginner. She's not here as an investment expert. She is here to share her honest thoughts, her honest concerns, her honest questions as well. The same questions many people, I believe, may be thinking about or have pondered about, but are sometimes afraid to ask or don't even know where to start from or who to ask. So before we continue, I want to make it clear that today's conversation is for financial education only. It is not individualized investment advice. Everyone's financial situation is different. Everyone's financial data, your numbers, tell different stories. It is different. So please, please, please consider your personal goals. Consider your timeline. Consider your current financial position and your comfort level. Your comfort with risk. What is your risk tolerance before making any investment decision when needed? I truly advise that you also speak with a qualified financial professional who can provide the appropriate guidance based on your specific circumstances. Okay? So as you join us, please say hello in the comments and tell us where you are watching from. Also, like this video, share it with someone who wants to learn about investing, and subscribe. Subscribe at Coach Lola Owokoniran, just as my name is spelled, or follow me on all social media platforms. I would truly appreciate it and love hearing from each and every one of you. So before I begin, I want us to hear, I want Emmanuela, go ahead and say hello to our viewers.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. It's an honor to be on this platform. And it's also an honor for me to have the opportunity and the ability to share my thoughts as a beginning investor.
Awesome. 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 So let's show some love in the comments. Let's show some love. Let's show some love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Let's express some love. We'd love to hear from you. So drop your comments, a hello, a hi in the comment section. Or if you have any question, if you have any question, either you're a beginner, intermediary investor, or advanced, drop your questions, all your comments, all your contributions towards today's conversations. Let's grow together. First of all, let's build together, let's grow together, and let's thrive together. That is the essence of the Build, Grow, Thrive talk weekly here on my channel. Hello, 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 hello at Eunice 3238. Hello to God is my hiding place. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before I begin teaching, I want us to hear from Emmanuela and understand from the beginner's perspective.
Mm.
Emmanuela, let's start with you. What has stopped you from investing until now? Has it been fear, lack of knowledge, lack of information, limited funds, limited money, or maybe you simply don't know where to begin?
Yeah, I really do believe it's a mixture of all of those things. And I believe it's not only me personally, but it can be for a lot of people, not only people my age, but also people that are older than me as well. So personally, it's just the volume of information about investing that is out there that can be a bit intimidating, because when we're talking about investing, it's very broad. Investments are very broad because we don't only have stocks, we also have like investing in real estate and things of that nature. So, and we have so many voices out there, so many quote unquote experts that are giving out so much information. So being a beginner, it's hard to know like where do I start? Who should I listen to? What tips and tricks should I utilize? How to build an investment portfolio. And also when they're explaining some things, it can be a bit confusing as well with all these big words, like stocks, ETFs, NFTs, like what even is an investment portfolio, all these things. So it's just the volume of information that can make it a bit intimidating.
Mhm.
As well. Yeah.
Thank you for your honest answer and for being vulnerable, for sharing that, Emanuela. I think many people can relate, especially when investing feels like something only the rich or wealthy people can understand, or those that can afford a financial advisor, an
Mhm.
expert. Um, so I understand. But the good news is that you do not have to know everything before you begin learning.
Mhm.
And that's one of the reasons why we're addressing this today. To everyone watching, I would also love to hear from you in the comments. What has been your biggest obstacle to getting started with investing? What exactly is your biggest obstacle on your journey of investing? You know, when you think about investing, Emanuela, what specific, I want us to focus more on the concerns and the fears.
Mhm.
What comes to mind first?
I think one of my biggest fears, I would say, is like the fear of losing a lot of money very fast, because you hear all these stories out there of people who invested in different companies and the company went bankrupt. Now
Mm,
all their money is gone. And I'm just like, what if that happens to me? Because I know that when it comes to an investment and things like of that nature having to do with money and financial management, like we all know, no risk, no reward. We know that no risk, no reward. That is something my financial management teacher kept on drilling to our heads, especially when we're talking about investment, because if you don't take a big risk, you won't get a big reward. But I know that is easier said than done, because these are our finances that we're talking about. This is the money that we've worked hard for and we want to grow, but it comes with a risk, a really, really big risk, right? And also a fear of poor decision making. Like,
mhm,
what if I invest into a company that is going downhill? And because I didn't have enough information to interpret whatever information that was given to me, I've now made a wrong decision and now my finances are in jeopardy. So those are like a bit of the fears that, me that I have. And also I feel like a lot of people are having as well. Yeah.
mhm. That's a very real concern, especially the fear of losing money.
Yes.
The fear of losing money. Investing, yes, involves risk,
Mhm.
but you also have to understand the risk behind it and have a long term plan.
Yeah.
A long term plan can help you make wiser decisions as you um, invest. Now, have you ever tried to learn about investing before? And what part felt confusing or overwhelming to you?
Yes, I have tried to learn about investing, not only like through school, because of course, I'm in, university, so they're teaching us financial management, investing, all those things. Those are like our course material that we're learning.
Mhm.
But focusing more on what I like do on my own,
Yeah.
just starting out can be very intimidating. Like I said, the volume of information that is out there is a lot, you know. So trying to find a person or someone that explains it in terms that, the layman can understand, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of my that's like the biggest issue that I've had when starting out. Yeah, even like the small things, like what broker do I use? Like, there are so many things that go into it. You know what I mean? When should I start? So it's just a lot, one thing
Mhm.
that's,
Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you for being so open. Thank you. So, what you've shared represents how many beginners feel today. It's so, just to let our viewers know, Emanuela is not the only one feeling this way, and I was once there. So let's slow down. Let's slow everything down. And let's begin with the foundation on today's conversation. Easily accessible. It has to be liquid. That money should generally remain somewhere safe, such as a savings account. And I would not recommend a traditional bank savings account. I would definitely recommend a high yield savings, where, yes, it's in a savings account, but you're still earning money on your money. The interest rate is much higher than what the traditional banks offer you today. So, because the goal is not just to put the money there, but also get something back, something back. Not necessarily something significant, but at least earn something. Okay. The goal here is accessibility, being your money being available to you when that emergency comes up, or when you have attained that financial goal, that short-term financial goal. So you're able to access it and the money is protected. Now, investing is different. When you invest, you are putting your money into assets that have the potential to grow over time. You're locking your money up. That could include stocks, ETFs, like you said earlier. Touch on that. Bonds, index funds, but putting your money in the stock market. The important factor here when it comes to investment is the phrase over time. You want to earn money over time. You want to leverage time, most especially, you know, beginners, my young Gen Zs, my young professionals, it's also accessible for the adults. But again, if you want to build wealth and leverage time, take advantage of time, now is a good time to start. Investing is usually for longer term goals because investment values can rise and fall. You do not want to invest money that you may not, you may need for your rent for next month, or an emergency fund that an emergency that comes up today, tomorrow, next week. So I often explain it this way: your savings account is your safety net. It's your cushion. It's your support system for your everyday expenses, for an emergency that could come up, an emergency of a flight, an airplane flight ticket, or a bus fare, or a flat tire. You need that money to be accessible. You need to have set aside about 3 to 6 months of your expenses, your essentials, while your investments are part of your long term wealth building strategy. You need both. We should not just invest every dollar, but we should also be careful not to keep all our long term money sitting in cash without giving it an opportunity to grow. Every amount in your bank account or every income coming into your hands needs to be assigned an assignment. You need to give it a task. Either it's saving, either it's investing, either it's spending. That's also a task. But spending that money appropriately is very important. So a savings account is generally more appropriate for emergencies. You need it accessible to achieve short-term goals, while investing that offers greater long-term growth potential for you, and ultimately to start building a legacy, building into your future, building into that dream, that legacy, that retirement plan. What your plan, what your vision for retirement is. But again, it also involves the risk of loss. So you have to understand what your risk tolerance is also when it comes to investing. I hope, was I able to answer, um, help you, with the basics there.
Yeah.
That's not the conversation. Okay.
Mhm.
So any questions? Let's
Yeah. So I want to start with, I know before I, this is a point I also wanted to make in terms of like the fears that I had in terms of like starting off investments. I think lack of funds or like limited money is something that a lot of people believe can be a hindrance to them when they're starting investing. Because like personally for me, I'm not saying I have a full-time job yet. So I'm thinking what I don't think maybe investing is not something I could do right now because I don't have like a stable income coming in. But I did learn from you, of course, that we can start small, right?
Mhm.
Whatever money you have, right? So I wanted to ask, how do we know whether we are ready to start start investing? How do I know that I'm financially able to start investing it? Is there like a specific income that we need to get to where, okay, now I can start doing these big things, or we can just start with like $100?
So you do not have to have a perfect financial data or lifestyle before you invest.
Mm-hmm.
That what perfection doesn't exist
Yeah.
for you to start investing. But you need a foundation. A foundation. You need a foundation. Either you're building that foundation or you have it already set. So first, can you comfortably pay your essential monthly bills? Investing should not leave you struggling to pay your bills, your
Mm-hmm.
house, your rent, your groceries, your transportation, your insurance, or to take care of your family's needs. Second, do you have some emergency savings? It does not necessarily have to be a fully funded 6-month emergency account. No. But before you invest your very first dollar, you need some form of emergency. You may begin with a starter emergency fund and continue building on it over time. I usually recommend starting off with, setting up a goal of $500. Start
Mm-hmm.
saving towards that, or $1,000. Save towards that. Commit to that emergency fund. Save in there, because at every stage of your life, you would have some form of emergency. Either you're in college, when you're out of college on your first job, when you start your family, having kids, when you retire, when you start that business. So at every stage of life that you would, every season, every phase, an emergency will always come up. You have short term goals that you need to work towards. So everyone needs an emergency account. So you may begin a starter emergency fund and, of course, continue building that account over time. Even when you reach your goal, keep putting money into that emergency, because at every phase of life, you need that account. But you also need some breathing room so that every unexpected expense does not force you to sell your investments or use a credit card, because that's what many of us do. If
Yeah.
we don't have that emergency fund, we swipe the credit cards, or we borrow money from family and friends or from the loan sharks. So it's always good to have some form of emergency savings. Start off. Your goal can be 500 every month. Allocate an amount on your paycheck towards that. Once you reach that goal, set another goal and keep growing it until you achieve your 6 months emergency account. Now, thirdly, you want to look at your high interest debts, your student loans, your credit card debts. When you're paying when you're paying a very high interest rate on your debt aggressively, when you're paying that, I want to rephrase that. So when you're paying a high interest debt, and on the other end, you are investing aggressively, and you're ignoring that debt, or you're paying the minimum, that debt will eventually work against you. It will. Because the money you earn from your investment literally might be equal to what your credit card bill will be when you're ready to cash that money out,
Mm-hmm.
or might be slightly more, might not even cover it. So as you are investing, you also want to be paying down your debts, whether it's a high interest debt or low interest debt. So looking at your numbers, visualize, explains where you are when it comes to your finances, and you keep growing like that. And then fourthly, you want to review your cash flow. After your necessities, your essentials, minimum debt payments, savings, all of that. Review your cash flow. Ask yourself, is there a consistent amount that you can invest without immediately needing to put it back, or to pull out from that account? That amount could be $25, $50, $100. The number is less important than making sure it fits your present financial reality. So start with where you are. When you review your numbers, you can realistically commit to an amount to invest in the stock market. It could be
Okay.
$5, it could be $25, but start something. You want to grow, you want to activate all those goals, those action steps simultaneously. As you're paying down your debts, you want to be investing. You want to be saving towards your emergency funds. And let me add this, please do not overlook your employer retirement plans. When your employer offers a matching contribution, you definitely want to take advantage of that because it may be an important part of your overall decision. That match can exponentially increase your retirement plan over time. So don't leave free money on the table. So, to answer your question, readiness is not about being wealthy, it's
Mhm.
about being stable enough to invest without ignoring your responsibilities today while
Mhm.
preparing for your tomorrow.
That makes
Okay.
sense. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that your priorities are taken care of without any stress before we start putting money into the
Yeah.
stock market. That makes sense. Okay, so what are the simplest investment options for a beginner? Because I know when I first asked, I know like I talked about how investing can be very broad.
Mhm.
It's a very broad concept because it's not only stocks and stuff, it's also real estate and things of that nature. So for a beginner, what are the simplest that is easy for us to get into, and start our investment portfolio?
Okay. So thank you for that question. This is one area that many, many, many people, it becomes overwhelming
Mm-hmm.
when you hear those terminologies, stocks, bonds, this, that. I'm gonna make it very simple. Let's use pizza. Let's use pizza. Because because investing terms can sound much complicated than
Yeah.
they really are.
Mm-hmm.
So a stock is like buying one slice of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to Papa John's today. How about that?
Dominoes.
Oh, Domino's. Okay, okay. Whatever rocks your boat. Okay, Papa, Domino's. Emmanuela is going with Domino's. Domino's pizza. A stock is like buying one slice of pizza. That slice represents a very small piece of one company.
Mhm.
So when you buy a stock, you own a tiny part of that business, a teeny bit. Now, if the company does well, the value of your slice may grow. If the
Mhm.
company struggles, the value may go down.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, a bond. A bond is more like lending money to Domino's, the pizza shop. They become your debtor. You're not buying part of the business. You're not owning part of it. You are letting the company, the pizza shop, the government borrow your money, use your money, and they agree to pay you back.
Mm, with interest.
Yes, that's a bond.
Mhm.
A mutual fund is like several people all over putting their money together to order a large variety of pizza. That's a mutual fund. A professional chooses the different investments inside the fund. Instead of owning only one company, your money may be spread across many companies.
Okay.
Okay. An index fund is like ordering a popular pizza combination. What's your favorite pizza combination at Domino's? I don't know.
Okay, so it's a bit weird. Don't get on me. Like I love me a chicken and then bell pepper.
Okay,
Love it.
okay. So it's like ordering that. It's already fixed, it's already set.
Hmm.
It's like ordering a popular pizza combination. You have your chicken, you have your bell peppers, you have your vegetables,
Hmm.
all in one pizza.
Hmm.
So rather than guessing, okay, which company will perform the best,
Hmm.
that stress is not on you. The fund, which you are the index fund, follows a group of companies in a market index. That may include hundreds of companies at the same time.
Mm.
That gives you more opportunities to put your money, not allowing the risk on just one, not using the risk, or maybe how would I put it? Not assuming the risk on if you were to just invest in one company.
One company. Okay.
Okay? So it's kind of similar to an ETF. You have to be careful there. An
Hmm.
ETF is like buying a whole pizza box filled with different slices,
Oh.
different flavors. Yeah. So inside the box, you may have pieces of many different companies.
Mm.
You buy the entire box, you own it as one investment, and you can buy or sell it during the day, very much like a stock. That's an
Yeah.
ETF. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a simple difference: a stock is one slice from one company, just
Hmm.
one. You own it.
Hmm.
And sometimes, if you buy a stock that pays you dividends, you earn money in two ways. You earn money when when you, as a shareholder, get paid dividends.
Hmm.
You earn money when the stock price goes up and you sell your stock.
Hmm.
Okay, a bond is money that you lend out to the pizza shop, and they pay you interest on your money. Okay, a mutual fund is a professionally managed collection. A professional manages that for you. It's a mixture, it's a mix. An index fund follows a set group of investments. An ETF is a basket of many investments, and it trades just like a stock.
Mm.
So for many beginners, when it comes to investment, an index fund or ETF is usually easier for you
Oh,
to get
okay.
started. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, because you're not depending only on one company's performance.
Okay.
The money is spread across several investments,
Hmm.
so you're not the risk of one company's stock value dropping. You don't lose your money. Yeah. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in terms of like you said one thing with stocks,
Mhm.
not all stocks pay dividends, right? So with ETFs, do they pay dividends as well, or
Um,
some of them? Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Now remember, having different slices does not mean there's no risk.
Right. Right.
Okay, the entire pizza box can still go up or down in value.
Hmm.
This is the ETF.
Okay.
But the most important thing is not choosing what sounds exciting or what you see someone on social media expressing. It's understanding what you're buying,
Hmm.
what is inside, what fees you may pay, and whether that ETF matches your goal. Okay. So I also want to share the book of, just to get biblical here very a little bit. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2 reminds us not to put everything in one place,
Yes. Yes.
because we do not know what challenges may come. In investing, that means not putting all your money into one
Mhm.
company,
Yeah.
one industry, one investment.
Yeah.
You have to diversify your portfolio.
Yeah.
That is one reason many beginners, may consider diversified options like the
Mm.
index funds or the ETFs,
Yeah.
okay, to help them spread their money across several investments
Yeah.
instead of depending on only one. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that's really good. It shows me that I'm kind of on track because I started investing in ETFs.
Mm.
So
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. My next question is it's kind of like coupling in with the financially ready one. It's like how much money do I need to start? And how often should I invest? Does
Okay.
that make sense? Yeah.
All right. So that is one misconception. Thank you. Thank you for that question. So many people believe that you need thousands of dollars to begin investing, or
Yeah.
you need to be earning a certain amount of income to start investing. No, you don't. You do not have to wait until you have a large amount, or
Mm-hmm.
or until you're earning the ideal paycheck. Even for my students, I always advise, even those that are not in school, like you've heard me say,
Mm-hmm.
times, the little money, pocket money they give you here and there, put it
Yeah.
in stock markets. Start with something. You know, you do not have to wait until you're in the workforce earning money, because the habits you create for yourself today grows with you and it stays with you over time. So, depending on the account and the investment platform, yes, you may be able to begin with small contributions.
Mm-hmm.
You may begin with $5, $25. Every paycheck, you can commit to paying yourself your, if you're a per hour paycheck
Mm-hmm.
earner, or even a salary earner, divide it, achieve, do the math, and pay yourself your first hour of every day. It could be $50. It could be a monthly contribution. But the thing that many people tend to forget to do is to be consistent with that plan. But start with what you can afford, what fits your budget currently. And as your budget expands, or your responsibilities, your commitments change, adjust those numbers.
Yeah.
I'd rather see someone consistently invest, a manageable amount,
Mm-hmm.
$5, $25, $10, and stay consistent to that, than invest a large amount one time
Yeah.
and then become financially strained and then stop. Consistency matters when it comes to investments. You have to be consistent. Investing is not supposed to be one dramatic financial event. It's usually a long term habit that has to grow with you.
Yeah.
So, one practical approach that I always recommend is to automate it. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
even think about it. The money is out of your account before you can even say, "Hey, what's going on how much did I get deposited in my account today?" Effortlessly, you can arrange for a contribution to move into your retirement or into your brokerage account every payday, every month. But the key there is to be consistent. That way, you're not relying only on motivation or trying to remember after everything else has been spent. Then you try to remember, hey, I forgot to invest this month. So, as your income also grows, you can gradually increase the amount. So, maybe you begin with 2% of your take home, or 1%,
Mm-hmm.
and later on move to 3%, and then 5%, and then gradually increase it like that. But be true to yourself. You know your numbers, you know what you can afford. You might have to give up, maybe shopping every month to achieve that goal, but start with what is realistic. Remain consistent. I'm going to keep saying that. You have to be consistent and gradually increase your portfolio, your contributions, as lifestyle changes occur. When those lifestyle increases happen, where we're earning more money, or maybe you know um a business income came in, or I don't know, more money coming in. It could be a extra pay increment on the job. Instead of you increasing your lifestyle, your expenses, redirect those funds.
To your investments.
There
Yep.
you go.
There we go. Yeah. I just want to know. I started with 100.
Mhm,
I started with $100. I remember not too long ago I was looking at my broker and I was seeing like a company. Their one stock was like $4,
mhm,
$4, and I just left it there. And like a few months later, I saw the stock. on the TV and it went up to like $7, $8. Like, dang, if I would have caught it at that time, because if one stock is 4, you can get like 10 for like 14, right? So if I would have invested, wait, right? No, 40.
$100 at
Okay.
what amount?
Math. No, I could have bought it more. Well, more of that stock with
Mhm.
smaller amount of money, but I didn't catch it at the time and I saw that it went up. I was like, dang, I should have caught it. So please, when she says start small, start small, I would have had more money than if I caught it at that time. Now it's expensive, so I have to calm down. Yes.
Well, I want to add to that. So the fact that it's also expensive doesn't mean you stop.
Yeah, for sure.
The stock will always go up and down. There's a term we call dollar cost averaging. So, which is what, if you're consistent with your contribution, you leverage that across the over time.
Hmm.
It balances out for you.
Hmm.
So before you know it, you own that ETF. Start with where you are. If that ETF costs $400, and that is that fits your goal, your investment goals, either for now or later.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you are consistent with that until you own the whole thing.
Hmm.
And regardless of what the value is in the stock market, it will always go up and down. But over time, maybe the $25 when you put the money, maybe that $400 ETF was say 300. And the next month it went to 400, and the next month it went to 200. Over time, it kind of evens out the
Evens
cost
out.
of
Yep.
over time for you. So
Yeah.
that's why I always recommend start. Don't wait till the market drops.
Yeah.
You know? But one tip I always recommend is, yes, even as you are consistent in that value you've committed to,
Hmm.
try to also look out for other investments.
Yeah.
And there are ways you can monitor these things when the market drops, and you already have money set aside, then you buy more.
Yeah.
When the value drops, you want to be one of the smart investors that
Mhm.
you buy more, but
Yeah.
you don't want to wait for that to happen. You
Yeah.
want to start now, and on the side, maybe your dividends, or maybe that's the time maybe you get your tax return. Set aside $1,000. That, okay, this money I'm going to invest it when this stock or when all these ETFs drop down in value. And then there are notifications you can set up on your brokerage account that will notify you when that ETF drops.
Yeah.
Go in and you buy it.
Yeah.
But as you are holding that 1,000, as an example, you're already monthly investing in other things.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure that you stay committed to these goals.
Yeah.
And don't be tempted to spend that 1,000 you've set aside for to acquire more of that ETF or more of that to put money in that index fund. You want to leverage all of that
Yeah.
all at once. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I heard one thing. I was listening to something that said like buy low and sell high. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Noted. Yeah. So my next question is, okay, what mistakes should beginners avoid when choosing investments? I think this is a really important one.
Yeah, this one is loud, very, very loud. Please avoid making investment decisions based on social media excitement.
Please.
Maybe you see Elon Musk out there doing this thing, or Bill Gates. Uh-uh. Slow down. Everybody calm down. Don't sell. Don't be in a hurry to buy. Calm down. So all of these things, when you let me back up a little bit. The stocks always follow a lot of factors, the pattern in which they go up and down.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a human behavior.
Mhm.
It could be an influencer going up there to recommend Coca-Cola and say, buy Coca-Cola. It did this to my body. I lost 20 pounds, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
Just that soccer player or
Yeah.
influencer going out there. to make that statement, or they wear the Adidas, or I'm just making
Yeah.
examples, or Nike. That simple act will affect the stock value.
Go up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and it could go down. The
Yeah.
other day, Elon Musk made some, yeah.
Depending on the influencer or celebrity.
So
Yeah.
let's calm down. So that's the first mistake. Someone may post about a stock, also a cryptocurrency, any investment opportunity, and it may sound as though everybody's becoming rich except you, but you do not know when that person invested,
Mm-hmm.
how much risk they took, whether they borrowed money to invest that money. Maybe it's borrowed money.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people use credit cards to do this. That's another mistake,
Yeah.
to invest in stock market. Please never do that. Never use borrowed money to go into the stock market to invest, period. Or maybe they were paid to promote it. I've also seen that, where
Yeah.
people pay influencers to promote a brand, and that also influences the value of that company stock, or whether they've already sold it. So please don't allow urgency, pressure, fear of missing out on making your decision. Do not let all of that move you to make wrong decisions. Social media excitement. That is the number one mistake. Do your research.
Yes.
Go to the company's website. Many of these companies, when you become a shareholder or you buy a stock or an ETF, they send you reports.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on Google, research it. It is free information. You can get their company's annual reports.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on Google, and these are things that I do teach on my investment webinars. So, but the second mistake is investing money that you need soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is something I've also seen. Markets go up and down. It is called price fluctuations. The market value will always go up and down. When you invest your emergency fund, when you invest your rent money, when you invest your tuition money, you may be forced to sell at the wrong time. So you want to make sure that any money you're putting into the stock market is not your emergency fund. The third mistake is chasing quick profits. Please, healthy investing is usually about long term discipline, not constantly searching for the next overnight opportunity. Number four is ignoring the fees. A fee may look small as a percentage, but over many years, those fees, they do add up. They can reduce how much of your return you get to keep. Number five mistake I always see is buying something you don't understand
Mm-hmm.
because a friend referred it to you. Before investing, you should be able to explain in or understand, what am I buying? How could it make money?
Mm-hmm.
What what can make me lose money in this?
Mm-hmm.
What fees am I paying? How does this investment fit into my goal, the timeline for my goals, either a short term or long term?
Does it pay dividends?
That's another one.
Yeah.
You gotta ask. And what are you gonna do with those dividends?
Yeah.
You're gonna cash it out or you wanna reinvest it?
Invest. Yeah.
So avoid putting everything into one company. That's another one.
Yeah.
Or into one industry. Now it's AI, technology, which is fine. That's a trend now. But I always preach diversification.
Mm-hmm.
Diversification, it simply means spreading your money across different investments, different industries, so that your entire portfolio doesn't crash all at once if you put that money into one industry or one company.
Mm-hmm.
Your entire future is not dependent on one outcome.
Mhm.
You have to make sure you invest, you diversify your investments, and you spread across your overall wealth building structure. You spread the your taxes,
Mhm.
your tax implication. Make sure you invest into investments that are also tax free, because stocks, all of this are also subject to taxes
Yep.
on the gains. So make sure you have a diversified wealth building structure as you journey on. Okay. So those are the mistakes I see I've seen with a lot of beginners or people putting money in the stock market generally. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think one of the main things that I'm hearing you say is like do your research, especially on the companies or whatever you're investing to, and don't hop on the trends.
Yes.
Don't hop on the trends. Okay. Thank you. I have like a bonus question, um,
Mm-hmm.
and having to do with like different brokers because I mentioned, oh, I looked at my brokers. So for a beginner, because I know there's a lot, there's Fidelity, there's Robinhood, these different ones. So for a beginner, which one do you typically recommend when it comes to like just ease of use? And yeah, just for ease of use, something easy for people to understand.
Everyone's definition of ease of use is
Different.
different.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Yes, there are several investment platforms, brokerage accounts,
Mhm.
but the right one depends on your goals.
Mhm.
It depends on the type of account you need. It depends on the investments you also want to buy, the fees. It depends on how what your comfort level is when it comes to investments,
Mhm.
and how much support you prefer, like the back end support from these companies. Some
Mhm.
offer more support than others.
Mhm.
So all of that are factors I would consider as you open this account. So rather than choosing an app simply because you saw the advert online or
Mhm.
because it's popular, or all of that, you want to understand what you're opening,
Mhm.
why you're opening it, and what you plan to invest in once the account is funded. Not, it's one thing to fund it, but it's also another thing to actually use the funds in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's exactly the kind of topic we cover deeply in the beginner investing intensive session. Um, this is the second session we're starting in August. I would walk the students through the different account types, investment options, the platform features. We'll compare side by side, and
Mhm.
then you get to pick which one works for you.
Yeah.
You know, and the steps to begin, helping you create a clearer goal. You know, and actually do this with confidence and with clarity,
Mhm.
and be accountable to each other on this journey of investment. So I do have a beginners webinar for investments, and I'm starting off on Sundays. The link will be in the comment section, description section as well. It's already posted there. And if you're interested, please go ahead and check it out. Register, register, register. I do have limited spots. I'm looking for an army of investors. Yes, you heard me right. I'm looking for dedicated people who are ready to, make a change, mature in their finances, and grow with me this year. So take advantage of this. The link is in the chat, and it's also in the description section of this live video. And I'll also, if you follow me on social media, I'll make sure that we put out some more information on our social media platforms. Register, register, register. Like I said, limited spots. So take advantage of it while spots are still available. So now, as we close, I do want to bring this back to action.
Mhm.
Said a lot. We've said a lot on today's live, but I'd love to hear from our viewers as well. What is one action step you want to take today from today's webinar? What is that one thing that you plan to do today after hearing everything we've spoken about? Because it's one thing for you to hear the information, but actions have to follow behind it. The first webinar starts on the 16th of August. Yes, I had someone ask a question on that. 16th of August, and yes, it's a Sunday in the evening, 5 p.m. In the evening at 5 p.m. Sundays for 3 Sundays, starting off on the 16th of August, will be the first webinar. Go ahead and register. If you cannot be available for all the sessions, that's fine. The live recordings and the materials, the workbooks will be made available to you after the for each day of the course of the webinar, so you can watch it on your own time. Even if you attend, yes, it will still be available for you for replay, for you to replay, rewatch, relearn, and gather the information you need. So drop in the comment if you have any questions from today's session and what action steps you want to take going forward. But as we close, what is one thing you can do this week to move from thinking about investing to actually getting started? Maybe your action is reviewing your budget. Maybe it's building your starter emergency fund. Maybe it's checking whether your employer offers a retirement plan match. Maybe they offer one, and do they match? Maybe it's opening an investment account or reviewing your investment account. Maybe you haven't checked it in a while. This is a reminder for you. Maybe it's choosing a small amount that you can commit to invest automatically every payday. So, what action step are you taking away from this live today, um, that you want to leave here with? Or maybe it's simply learning the difference between the investment options available to you. You don't have to complete the entire journey this week. No, I'm not putting that pressure on you. But I want you to be able to identify your next wise step. Thank you. God is my hiding place. I love that. I love that. Starting an emergency fund. Yes, even if it's $20, start it. At every stage of your life, you need one. You need an emergency fund. Small beginnings matter. It helps build your confidence when it comes to your money. It helps you grow financially. Your confidence often comes after we take the necessary steps, not before we take them. So as you see your portfolio grow, as you see your bank account grow, you build financial confidence with that. Start with what you can afford, what you can commit to. Start with understanding. Start within your means. But the key word there is consistency. Be consistent with it. So, like I said earlier on today's live, this conversation is for financial education. It is not individualized investment advice. Please, please, please consider your financial goals, your timeline, your financial position, your risk tolerance. All of this play a huge factor when it comes to your investment decisions. So, Emmanuela, do you have any final thoughts, any final remarks for our viewers before we close out on today?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on, and thank you so much for answering my questions when it comes to beginners and investing. And one thing I would really love to say is just don't be afraid. I know it can be very intimidating. Just don't be afraid. Just do it. Just start, and you never know. There's this verse in Ephesians chapter 11, verse 1 that says, cast your bread upon many waters and in due time it will give you increase. So it's just giving you an idea that, diversify, invest, and over time you never know where the increase will come from. So cast away that fear and just start. And I'm sure by, financial education and by the grace of God, you will get your increase. Amen.
Amen. I second that. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me on today's conversation, Emmanuela. I truly appreciate you for taking time out and for being transparent with our audience. Thank you so much for being honest. As we close tonight, I want to remind you that learning about investing is a great first step, but knowledge becomes more powerful when you apply it. Apply the knowledge you gather. Apply it. That is why I created the Beginner Investing Intensive. Um, we're starting off the August cohort, August 16th. This is for the person who is ready to move beyond saying, I want to invest, I want to give it a try, but actually commit to it and give it a try. You begin to understand how investing actually works in a simple, practical way. Now, during the intensive session, the webinar, we will cover how to research investments, how to understand stocks, ETFs, index funds, dividends, retirement accounts, your risk, how to build a long-term investment plan that fits your goals. We'll cover all of that. You don't need to be an expert, but you do need to start. You don't need to have thousands of dollars, but you need to start with what you can afford. You need to simply learn, be willing to learn. I must rephrase that. Be willing to learn, be willing to ask the right questions, and take the intentional steps towards your financial future. So if tonight's conversation helped you to realize that to realize more about investments, please, of course, give this video a thumbs up. If this conversation also helped you realize that you are ready to learn more, I personally am inviting you to join the Beginner Intensive Investment class. The details are in the description section. The link is also in the description section, and also in the comments as well. Um, Thank you again, Emmanuela, for joining us on today. Um, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And to our viewers, thank you again for watching. For those who commented, we appreciate you. For those who liked, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys today. For those who shared, thank you. For those who commented as well, thank you. But until next time, we're going to leave you all here. Um, please, please, please keep building wisely. Please. If you drop the ball, start off again. Keep growing intentionally and keep thriving purposefully. Reach out if you need any information, and I'll do my very best to be able to give you the answer. If I don't know it, I will find out for you. But again, God bless you all, and thank you, thank you, thank you for connecting with us today on today's show. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Emmanuela, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Have a blessed one. Stay blessed. Bye.